Hi everyone, it's me, Alma. I'm wondering if you can hear me. Let me know if you're here. So, today I'm going to be talking about how if you start losing, your steam and creativity when you start writing, right? Sometimes it's called a writer's block or creativity slump, things like that, right? That's something that I totally hate. All right, so um, I'm going to be talking about some tips that I have, and hopefully that can help you. Now, if you have any questions about writer's block and about, creating more creativity for you and how you can get that sort of motivation to keep writing, just let me know and pop them out in the bottom for some questions. I'll hopefully answer them. I'm not an expert in all this whole productivity and creativity writing and things like that and writing faster, but I do have my strategies. Since I am a freelance writer and I do get paid for writing, I do need to ensure that I don't have writer's block, that I don't lose steam, but sometimes it's inevitable. So I thought maybe I can offer some tips that has helped me and is helping me right now, because right now I'm actually in a creative funk, but I think I'm out of it now, and I'm on the road to more creativity and more writing. So if you're here, say hi. So I'm just going to pop in. I was supposed to do this last week, and I'm so sorry that I didn't do this live last week. My twins were sick, and they ended up staying home on Thursday and Friday. And so I couldn't do my live then. And today they're off at school. They're doing a lot better. So I do have some time to help you guys if you're interested in becoming a freelance writer and being more productive as a writer. All right. So one of the first things that I want to share with you is my recent story of having this sort of funk or writer's block. I believe it was probably, I'd say more than a month ago, that I was publishing content on my own sites. I was submitting articles for clients, and I sort of hit a wall. I think I was like burnt out. I think I was writing too much. And I decided at that point to have two big projects on my own personal blogs. I have a huge post on Elna Kane that I'm currently writing. It's over a month in the works. And I think that, and my other posts that I have on Twins Mommy, I think those two posts really like pushed me over the edge, and just, I didn't hate writing, but I knew that I didn't want to write about that anymore. And so that really just sort of bled into my entire life. I was having a hard time just managing the house and just doing anything in particular. It was hard. And I knew in the back of my mind, I had deadlines. I had things that I need to get done. So if you ever felt like that, just let me know. So what I ended up doing was, the first thing I did was take a break. I decided right then and there that I needed to stop writing on those projects. Now, if it's a client piece that is due like the next day, then I would not suggest that. You may ask your client for an extension, but even then, I would work my hardest to try to get that job done quickly and get it done and over with, right? Even if it's not your best work, I would still try to meet that deadline. But since these were the biggest projects on my own personal blogs, I don't have deadlines on those blogs. I decided that I needed to take a break with that writing. And that helped me a lot. I was still able to write other blog posts and other pieces for other clients. And that helped me. But it wasn't enough. I was still having a hard time writing on my personal blog. I'm used to writing over 2,000 words for each blog post. And it was struggling for me to even write 500 words. So I gave myself some grace. And so the blog posts that I published on my blogs weren't the greatest. They weren't over 2,000 words, but they were still valuable, I felt, to my audience. So as a blogger, it's important to be consistent on your blogs. It's important to have consistent content. Not so much if you're a freelance writer, but if your clients want consistent content, right? So it is important to have that. So because I have two big blogs that I run, I needed to have consistent content. And so I was okay publishing little pieces of content. At least that got me going. At least I was still writing. So that helped me a lot. So like during this time, oops, my notes are on my keyboard here. So during this whole time, I think I was able to write, I wrote this post, 10 things you do as a content writer. This was towards the end of my whole like writer burnout phase. So I was able to write a good blog post on this. But like this one was a video. So all I did was have an intro, have the video, and I just watched the video and then just sort of wrote it out. And so that was easier for me to do, right? So I was able to do that. And that was it. Those were the two blog posts that I wrote during that whole writer's burnout thing. And then over on my other blog, Twins Mommy, I think I wrote another 2 blog posts as well. Again, they're not like my best pieces and they're not super long, but at least I did that. So this is a video, list building strategies. So I just pumped that out quickly and it was a video. So again, I did the same thing. That was super easy for me. And then I wrote a little roundup. I thought this, sometimes roundups are easy for me. All I have to do is spend the time researching and then I can write a couple sentences for each little thing I'm sharing. So I was able to do that quickly. So, if you find that you're managing a blog, you have your own blog and you have client pieces and you're just getting burnt out, take a break. If that's just like, for that afternoon, over the weekend, that will hopefully re-energize you to start writing some more. But what helped me the most was not writing those pieces and writing and creating other things. That seemed to help me the most. Let me just look at my notes. What else I have? Oh, another thing too was talking about it. I shared my writer's burnout kind of thing in one of my Facebook groups. And so I got a lot of encouragement from other people of what they did. Some people decided to do, that jogging and running was their ticket to getting out of that funk. And so others suggested some great little tactics for me. And that motivated me, knowing that other people go through this and that they have some great suggestions helped me form a plan so that, I don't feel like I'm not contributing, that I'm actually doing something. So talking about it, I even shared it in my email list. So tell people on your Facebook page or tell people if you have an email list, tell your family and all that. And they can hopefully give you some words of encouragement or offer something else. Sometimes just reading a book is better, or listening to a podcast can help you just disengage from whatever that's holding you back, that project, that client piece. And then you can go back at it when you're in a much better place. And honestly, a lot of that happened to me when I was first writing. When I first broke into the digital marketing niche and I had to write more than like 1,200 words, like when my clients wanted 3,000 words, I really hit a big roadblock, like a writer's block at that point. I got very anxious. I started getting anxiety because I was thinking, well, geez, they want this really in-depth blog post. I have to be that credible person and have those great statistics and have all of that information so that it looks good for that client. And, it wasn't that I was having some imposter syndrome, but at the same time, I'm like, well, I'm not some big digital marketer. At that point, I was just a freelance writer. I didn't have like tons of courses and I wasn't doing affiliate marketing and I wasn't doing all this marketing stuff. I didn't feel like I was the person to write these in-depth blog posts, so a lot of times I would write it and then stop. And it would be, I'd say 10 days before I got back to it. Luckily, my clients gave me a whole month to do these big projects. And I'm forever grateful for that. They weren't, banging on the door asking for more content. They knew that they would give me a blog post for that month and then I would complete it within that month. So I knew I had a big time frame, which sometimes I know a lot of writers say that's not the greatest because your work will expand on the time that you give it, right? I think there's a principle on that. What is it? Parkinson's something principle. And that's true. If I was only told a week to do that, I probably would be able to get that done, but I had a whole month. So talking about it. And then, I think the biggest thing for me was listening to music and sort of having a different way to express my creativity. Now, writing for me is a big release of creativity. Like, this is how I nurture my creativity, whatever it's your muse or whatever you call it. And I know for a lot of freelance writers that, this is a business, and that shouldn't be the case. Like, your writing is your business. It's not some kind of creative outlet. It's not artsy, anything like that. But, I do balance the line between that. If I don't have any creativity to give, I cannot write. It's that hard for me. So I find that listening to music really, really like changes me and changes my mood and changes my perception of what I'm doing at that time. So if it's like salsa music, I can get more, like into it and just be like happy and have big smiles and, and then that will get me in a better mood to create, maybe a video or to do something like that, right? So finding that helps. If you guys have any questions about like, writer's block or being burnt out or even like meeting client deadlines, just post them in. But I just wanted to share with you those quick tips. So, allowing yourself a break. And put my notes up here. So start writing something else if you can. And making sure that you're talking about it to other people. And listening to music are the biggest things that helped me. All right, everyone. If you guys don't have any questions, that's fine. I just wanted to give you this quick live about those tactics that helped me. So if you're interested in learning more about freelance writing, just head on over to elnakane.com and you can get some great help on that blog for sure. All right, everyone. I hope you have a good day. Talk to you later. Bye.